Hello, happy hump day, and thank you for tuning in to an all new episode of Stop Faking It with me, your host, Emily Bracey, Emily E. Bracey Comedy on Instagram, that is. We are still in the groove of comedy. Honestly, I'm spent a few weeks of interviewing comedians now, and I'm like, should I just turn this into a comedian like interview podcast? Because I am having so much fun with it. Today, I am talking to golden retriever of a comedian from her website that I actually recently saw her at Tampa's Sunshine Comedy Festival. Seriously, like 5 minutes into her bit, my husband was like, "Why are you on your phone?" And I was just like stalking the hell out of her, following her on everything I could. But yeah, then I put my phone away. Anyway, comedian, blonde Leo hottie, like I said, golden retriever, podcast co-host. She has done so much, including Jimmy Fallon, and she was on Netflix radio. Welcome, Katherine Blanford.
Thank you so much.
Also, I would
I
like
apologize.
to, what you say you apologize, what?
I just apologize for everything I'm posting right now online for my
Yeah.
material. Like I'm like about to record my hour,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't want to burn any of that material because I'm
Oh,
like
no.
about to I'm bringing in a camera crew to record.
Oh,
It's gonna be legit. So all the stuff I'm posting is just like crowd work of
I
me
love it.
just making fun of the local drunk in the audience.
It's
So
fun to do. Also, I would
it
like
is.
to say the way I read that out, it made it sound like you did Jimmy Fallon, but you were on Jimmy Fallon. I just want to clarify that
Listen,
as I said it
we all ascend to the top in any way we can.
somehow.
Okay? And I'm not saying yes or no. It's
Is it
definitely a no.
is it through a
But
rumor? Maybe.
yeah, if that makes you a fan of mine to believe that, then I'll take it.
Let's
I'm
start the lie.
actually gonna be on it
Oh,
again
no way.
March 12th. So
Oh,
2 Tuesdays.
well, that's fun. That's going to be like, yeah, right after this podcast is out. So
Perfect.
everybody watch her. How are you doing?
See if my pimples clear up before
Yeah,
then. I'm
they will. It's
good.
okay. It's normal. I feel like more people have pimples than don't. I've realized that.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I have so many and I'm just I like it. I hope I still have a few pimples on Jimmy Fallon so I seem, relatable.
You'll never be alone. You always
Yeah,
have that pimple
I'm
to go
just
to.
I'm one of the teenagers. Mhm.
Exactly. Sorry, I'm so young and hormonal.
Yeah, guys, I haven't grown
How
up
are
yet.
you doing?
I'm good. I'm really good. I've been on the road a hell of a ton and I'm about to be back on the road. Like I won't be back. I'm leaving tonight. I'm taking a red eye and I won't be
Oh,
back for two and
wow.
a half weeks. I'll be in like 6 different states.
Oh, sick. Are
And
you packed yet?
no, I'm certainly
No.
not. I literally just got off the road yesterday.
Yeah,
But it's all great. I'm doing my own weekends, I'm doing spade weekends, I'm taping tonight's show, getting ready for my hour.
that's gonna be
So
so
it's
fun.
all blessed and busy.
I would love to see your hour. I think the side, I kept saying side spitters before. It's side
It is.
splitters, spitting or
It's
splitting.
it's a
Your
pain
sets
in my
were
sides.
obviously shorter. I would love to see your hour. I mean, when I saw you, you had me laughing so freaking hard. And first of all, I heard a female's name and I was like, hell yeah. Because it was always like male, 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 female, male,
We
male,
can do
male.
it
So
too.
it's always like extra exciting. But even your physical comedy, oh my God, so funny. I was just like so inspired and I'm like, this girl is so funny. And I feel like it takes like extra like balls to like get into that physical comedy, like
Oh,
comedic.
thank you. Honestly, I'm just an incredibly neurotic person.
Yeah,
And so
you could tell.
I have so much like built up and like angst in me that I have to move.
All of a
And
sudden you were just
so,
like climbing a stool. I was like, I love
mhm,
her. She's great.
yes, we do. We will use the tool. The tool will be if I ever taught a comedy class, day one would be make the stool your bitch.
I like it.
And I do. I F that stool up
Yeah.
during my whole set. I just have too much energy. Like I'm so chaotic on the
Yeah.
stage, and then since then I've started to like I'll get auditions to like self tape for stuff,
Yeah.
and I'll go in and they'll be like, well they wanted to see you because they saw you on stage, and so I'll go into a self tape and I'll try my best at
Mhm.
acting, and afterwards they're like, could you take it down? Could you take it down about I would go 700 notches. Could we stop moving? Could we stop moving your eyebrows and your eyeballs and your mouth so much? And I'm like, that's what I was on stage. I'm not,
Yeah. It's
that's who I am.
literally, it's so captivating because it's so funny. I mean, you're just so funny. I can't say it enough.
Yeah.
So
Thank
I
you.
saw that in 2022, you had an album that hit number one on the comedy charts of iTunes. Congratulations,
Thank you
Salt
so
Daddy.
much. So Daddy, it was a story that originated from Florida and Fort
Okay.
Lauderdale, though.
Oh.
True story. It's a like the album's named after I think it's my closing bit on the
Hmm.
album, about like going on a boat with the captain's name was Salt Daddy.
Hmm.
So this is a real man with a real
No, it's
business.
Florida. I get it. One time I met
Yeah.
this Uber driver. His name was Bonquiqui. So continue. It's Florida.
Oh,
It makes
yes,
sense.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay. That was his brother.
Yes.
Um, uh, and I ended up doing that bit also the first time I was on Fallon. This man has since like DM'd me,
Salt
and I'm
Daddy.
like, so yeah, I'm like,
Okay.
I should have 10% of your business.
Yeah.
I have blasted you and your business and your name all over the country,
Yeah.
all over the airways, all over the TV, all over the
Hmm.
tubes. But I just remember I didn't even talk about this on the set, but I remember after like we went on the boat, there's this whole story about how he got on like another woman's boat while he was taking us out in the ocean. But afterwards, I remember like he was DMing us, like trying to meet up with us at
Yeah.
night, and like and like was telling us he had some bath salts if we were interested.
Welcome to
I mean, we
Florida.
were right. We were literally like young white women from
Yeah.
South Carolina. Like uh, I mean, it certainly would have been most of our first time with bath salts.
Yeah.
But it was like such a
Most of you.
quintessential Florida story. Yeah.
Yeah. On a boat with a strange man offered
Hmm.
drugs.
Hmm.
A dime a dozen,
There's
baby.
right. There's something about like a bachelorette and making plans, and like your first two options fall through,
Yeah.
and so you're just like, we need to get on a boat. The
Hmm.
bride needs to be on a boat. And so then you just like safety is becomes the least like priority in that situation. And that's essentially what we did. Like we couldn't find somebody to take us on a boat like last minute. So we ended up with Salt Daddy. And so he pretty much just abandoned us out in the ocean and then offered us bath salts. And that's
And
called
that's my
a
career.
Florida baptism.
I love it. Oh my gosh. We've all had those. Girl,
Mhm.
tell me about not even your start with comedy, but your start with YouTube. I saw that you have what, over 100,000 followers. It's way over that now, right?
Yeah,
Subscribers.
I don't. Yeah, it's.
Congratulations, because
Thank you.
those are some crazy YouTube numbers. Like that is incredible that you did that. How did you start on YouTube?
I I don't. I
You're like,
put
I
up
don't
a
know.
few clips. This was so weird. I put
Yeah.
up one. Okay, so I did a Don't Tell comedy set that kind of blew up.
Hmm.
And then at the same time, I put up was one clip. It was a short. It was
Hmm.
a minute short that I had. It was just like a random day I'd shown up when I was living in Atlanta, Georgia, and I showed up at the club. It was like a Sunday show, probably. I
Hmm.
have on this like t-shirt dress. Like people still comment on it, like, bitch village just got pillaged. Like I look like
Is it
I'm
the one in
from
the
the
tan
1800s.
t-shirt dress?
You what?
Is it the one in the tan t-shirt dress?
It's like greeny.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it was this like bit that I was almost embarrassed to put it out because I thought it was kind of hack. Honestly, the clips that I've put out that have blown up, I'm the most embarrassed to put out because I think they're so hack. But
Yeah.
it was a story about DNF and how I fake passed out and during cross country races. And it like blew up. Like
Oh my
I think
gosh.
it's in the 30 millions views.
That's so beautiful. I'm so
I do,
happy for you.
I do like I'm so the best part is the clip I put up is it's like a dirty like punchline.
Yeah.
And then I did it on Fallon and did it
Okay.
like the same bit but made it incredibly clean. So there's like
Yeah.
two very different versions of that.
Yeah.
I guess, and then I don't know, and then I don't know, my YouTube
So,
kept growing from there.
so now I'm a
It
YouTuber.
Oh, are you like
No,
do
I
you
was
put
pretending to be you.
Oh, I got yeah, that's my credit when you Google me as YouTuber. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't I
So that's
just
what I saw.
That's so funny. It's not, I just throw whatever I throw up on
That
Instagram
is
on YouTube.
so,
I
I
don't,
thought you were going to be like, oh, I started on Vine and then like this, because you do physical comedy, and a lot of people who do physical comedy like also do like little skits and like reels. So I was like, oh, maybe that's how she started. Maybe she was a Viner. No, girl, you did it straight up through comedy. So tell me about your comedy story then, and like, how did you get up into the funny business?
you are going to find a theme with me where it's just like, I just kept throwing stuff against the wall. Not really, no plan. Is
Yeah.
essentially what I did. I didn't grow up like a comedy connoisseur. Like my parents weren't like, listen to Carlin. I like my favorites. Like when I was getting like kind of started to get interested, my favorite comedians were like Kevin Hart and Dane Cook.
Hmm.
Like, very like just the
Bros.
surface level, like household names, but it
Yeah.
wasn't like I didn't know any of the greats or anybody
Hmm.
beyond the most famous comedians at the time.
Kevin
And
Hart would beg a differ.
I who
Kevin Hart would beg a differ.
sure. I mean, he's fantastic too.
He is. He's
I mean,
hilarious.
still some of like that damn Shaq bit is still
So funny.
oh god, I could watch that every day and still laugh. And then so I was in college and I did a fraternity competition where you had to like, like there was like a performance piece, like a
Hmm.
talent involved, and I can't dance and I can't sing
Hmm.
and I can't pop my ass. I'm not much of an exotic dancer. So I wrote a sketch like I was Chelsea Handler for her
Oh
show
my
and
gosh.
like roasted all the frat guys and won. So I was like, I think I like stand up. And I read a book. Oh, I read a Live from New York. It's a really cool book
Okay.
about SNL. This isn't even
Yeah.
stand up sketch, but it's like it interviews a bunch of the original cast members.
Oh, that's
It
cool.
just like I don't know, my brain I remember started to start wrap around comedy in college. And I remember I was interning. Oh, this okay, ready for this full circle moment? So interning, I'm at South Carolina for college. My
Okay.
major is sport and entertainment management, which is where we like studied like touring. Like we
Hmm.
like uh for like major product like Kenny Chesney or Zach Brown Band or Beyonce. Like we like it was like kind of a feeder program into Live Nation and
Hmm.
AEG and all these other companies. So which is kind of weird because it's like what I'm doing now a little bit. But I was working at the college arena. Colonial Life Arena was the arena in Columbia, South Carolina. I was interning. And I remember going up to my boss and telling him I was reading this book about SNL and how obsessed I was getting with comedy and how I wanted to do it. And he was like, you're kind of already too old for it. He's like, the guys that become successful like start much younger than you.
What?
And I was like, well, look, I'll show you.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right, are you ready for this?
Let me
In
hear it.
April, I will be opening for Burt Kreischer at Colonial Life Arena at the arena. Uh,
Oh
isn't
my
that cool?
Lord. That is
Isn't that
so cool.
isn't that insane? Like
That's beautiful.
I know, I know. And thank
Congratulations.
you, thank you.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh. I saw you were opening for him, and he was here recently for the Pirate Parade, Gasparilla. And I
yeah.
was like hoping he was going to do something and you were going to open for him. I was like looking, I was like, is she here too?
Hi, it's so fun to go on the road with him, and he's very generous with like bringing other comics on the road and giving them their shot and giving them their flowers, using his platform to like, uh,
That's sick. That's awesome.
yeah, and he's great. So I get to open for him in Columbia where I went to college, and then also
That
will,
is
um,
so cool.
mhm,
Oh my
mhm.
gosh. I've mentioned this on a few of my podcast episodes, so my listeners are probably like, yeah, we get it, Emily. You're from Jamestown. Little small town, Jamestown, New York. They have the Comedy Hall of Fame there. It's
Oh
really
wow,
weird because yeah, so random. And I'm not trying to be rude because like everyone's, oh, it's my hometown. Okay, there's like very minimal redeeming qualities. Like, yeah, they get all the seasons, but it's just like a small town. Like
yeah.
I can't talk about it or people might get mad at me. But they
Oh,
have the Comedy Hall of
you
Fame.
can't speak truth,
I can't speak truth. Exactly.
especially.
Exactly. Um, yeah, so they have the Comedy Hall of Fame there, and every summer they have the Lucille Ball National Comedy Festival the first
Oh
weekend of
yeah.
August. So that's like like I want that like full circle story one day for
Yeah.
myself of like doing a show there for that. I'm like, that would be
Yeah. Don't they, do they exclusively book female comics for that
no, but
festival?
they book all sorts of comics. They have different shows. They might have done one that was just female comics because
Yeah.
it is like, you know, inspired by Lucy because she was born in the town. And but
Oh,
yeah,
it's
I
so
always
cool.
I follow your
You're gonna be there one day
oh
and you're
girl,
gonna have
you need
stories about
to.
Jamestown. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And
You're gonna
yeah,
feel so fulfilled and
full
like
circle.
all the little
Yeah.
things and the little trials and all the no's you got. It's all gonna be worth it when you're
And
there when
like I just can't wait to be like, oh my God, I like passed out drunk there and threw up on that corner and like
yeah. And
hit
it's like
that curb and that
you
curb and that curb.
you're gonna feel like the ghost of Emily's future. And
Yeah.
you're gonna be like doing so well now, and you're gonna be there for a comedy festival, and you're gonna like envision your younger self puking on that curb, and you're
Yeah.
just ghost self is gonna be holding your hair back. Like, don't worry, girl. You're just
Is that how you felt when you
yeah.
booked it?
Yeah,
Oh my
because
God.
like
What a cool feeling.
I always felt like in college and high school,
Hmm.
whatever else, like it's kind of always like I was fine. It was cool. I got along, but I was always like kind of weird and
Hmm.
like a little bit different than everybody else.
Hmm.
And but I'm so happy I had all those experiences because now this is
Yeah.
what I talk about in my
It's
comic.
so funny that you said that about being weird. I just sent my friend a reel this morning that I saw, and it was about how if you meet like a cool girl in her 30s who's like funny, I bet she was weird as fuck in high school and middle
Yeah.
school. And I'm like, yeah, I was.
Yes,
It was
exactly.
so
Like
weird.
you
Every Wednesday I talked in a British accent. I don't know why. Every single Wednesday.
oh, I love that. I think we
It,
can do
it
an
was so
show.
fun.
Oh my God, that's a blast.
Yeah,
And all your friends are like, wait,
we
why
should
can't
start that.
yeah, that's wait, were you like what were you like quintessential cool girl? Were
I
you
wouldn't say
nerd?
that. I was the principal's daughter
Oh
for a
God.
lot of it. And then I had like some health problems going on, so I was like passing out all the time. So I was the girl who was like, wait, she's like never here. And then I would like randomly show up and be like, I'm back. And I was like gone for 3 weeks, like sick. And
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, look at me now.
Oh, you were building those were you were building your foundation. You're building your
Exactly.
cool funny girl foundation right there.
Exactly. Right through
It's
the
all worth
trauma.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're going back there on stage and you're not going to pass out
No.
from nerves and you're going to be look at you now, girl. You're on stage not passing out and it's going to be
Standing.
full.
Oh my God, I can't wait for my mom and parents to hear this. They're gonna think that's so funny. Can I ask you some questions about stand-up comedy? Because this is my
Yes,
theme for
please.
I was gonna do 1 month of this, but now I'm having so much fun, I'm gonna do two. What
Please
is
get at it.
something that goes on like behind the scenes in a comic's life, good or bad, that people like wouldn't expect to hear?
Wouldn't expect to hear. Um, oh, okay, for me and I think a lot of my
Yeah.
friends, I don't know if you got this answer. This is like kind of it's pertaining to now,
Hmm.
but like posting reels and posting clips, I absolutely hate it.
It's
I hate it
exhausting.
so much. It's exhausting and I also feel hack
Yeah.
because I feel like everybody's posting clips now and everybody's posting crowd work clips and it's like but it's like I said earlier, it's like because I don't want to burn my material that this is a 15-minute bit that's
Yeah.
taken me a year to shape.
Yeah.
I don't want to put it out online until it's perfect and
I don't blame you.
I've recorded an hour in it. So, but now the name of the game is to uh post stuff online to build your following so you can go on
Hmm.
the road and sell tickets and blah 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 and then become a theater act and blah etc. So like you have to play the game until you figure out another way. But like it's like you make fun of the stuff that you
Hmm.
also have to do
Yeah.
and it's not I sometimes I post like crowd work clips and all I want to say in the caption is I'm sorry I'm doing this, I'm sorry I'm another comic posting crowd work clips, but I have to post content
Yeah.
and I don't want to post my jokes because I those are precious
Dear
precious my little
babies.
babies.
One of my
So
friends made a good point, and she was like, because someone asked, like, why aren't you posting more of your clips? And she was like, well, I want people to come see my shows and not know what to expect.
yeah, yeah. so much. And like, dude, I was working on a bit about like freezing babies that I'm like was so excited about. And then the whole thing about in vitro,
Yeah,
like
Texas.
whatever, the little petri dishes, they're saying those are human beings now. And so I was like, well, all right, I'm gonna post the clip now. And and then this past weekend I was opening for Spade and people would come. I did a little bit of that bit that I
Mhm.
posted online and people were coming up to me like, I saw that bit online. And I'm like, God, it's like, oh, it was like, it's new. I was so excited.
Yeah.
It is a little bit infuriating because, and that wasn't the thing back in the day. That wasn't even a
No.
thing almost pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Like trying to reinvent yourself all over and over and over again and writing new stuff. I feel like it's kind of good and bad for comedy because like I've obviously gained a following because of my online presence,
Hmm.
but also I feel like you have to churn out new stuff so much quicker,
Hmm.
and that probably hurts the quality of
Yeah.
your material a lot.
Oh yeah, I could see that. With
Yeah.
that too, that kind of goes into one of my other questions. What is something or things you do to like take care of your mental health being a comedian?
Oh, a lot of sleeping pills
Yeah.
and um
Melatonin's my drug of choice. I get
yeah, a lot of melatonin. We take melatonin every 3 hours.
it.
A lot of ashwagandha,
Oh,
whatever
that's a
the hell.
good one. Hmm.
And uh sunshine and just also like this is so bad.
It's
Like
okay.
telling my friends not to ask me how I am. If
Yeah.
I don't have to answer the question, I don't have to address it.
Yes.
So, like, we're gonna do riffs. We're gonna riff about things, and we're not gonna focus on our feelings. That's the best thing
Exactly.
I can do right now.
Exactly. If you don't think about it, it doesn't exist. That's how I live my life.
110%.
Yes.
Yes.
That that is so true. What are some experience? I know, just to make things worse, let's talk about bombing.
Oh, wait, let me flip. Let me flip. Let's see some clips here.
I would love to hear your experiences with it. I mean, as someone who's getting back into stand up, I know that that's literally every like new comic's nightmare. Luckily, I've been bullied on the internet for so long. I have some pretty thick skin, so like I'm okay with it.
Mm, yeah, you get it. Are you say asking like how I'm dealing with it or how
Yeah,
I'm
like how do you deal with it?
feeling?
Do you have like a funny story from one time you bombed that always sticks out in your head?
Okay, let me see. Was it last night or 2 nights
Was it
ago?
this morning?
3 nights ago. Yeah, this morning. Uh I I'm now I go one, it's either I'm working on new stuff and I'm
Mhm.
like, and I just tell myself, I'm like, well, you bombed because you tried something.
Yeah,
And that's I'd rather bomb working on something new and getting closer to fine tuning something new than to do decent on the same old shit.
I love that. That's very like Bob Ross of you.
Is that what Bob Ross says? A
Like when
little,
he
what
has
is it?
his like,
Happy mistake?
yeah, I
Yeah.
like
I'd
that.
rather do that. I mean, it sucks, but at least you're like, at least I, at least I'm bombing upwards.
I
I'm
like
falling
that.
up the steps, is
Yeah,
what I think.
I like
Instead
that.
of staying on the same step and being comfortable.
It's just
I'm
all
walking up the
perspective.
steps and I tripped and I scraped my shin and I'm bleeding and it effing hurts and I'm crying. But I am 3 steps higher than I was before. Does that metaphor make
No, that really
sense?
does. And I really like that. That's
Yeah.
actually beautiful.
And I say that
Mhm.
while I actually fall up the steps after a bomb. So that physical pain distracts me from the mental pain that I'm in after a
Yeah.
bomb.
Oh, it's so much easier that way. That's why I
Mhm.
smoke weed. So it's fine.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
There's no better. Also, like bombing never gets easy. Bombing's
Yeah.
never like, no matter how long you've done it and how much you can talk yourself out of a bomb. Like
Mhm.
I love that I love the nights like after bomb, like and right after it, you're just like it's fine. I was trying something new.
Mhm.
Everybody else is doing surface level stuff. I'm doing deeper stuff. This crowd didn't get me. And you're like, fine, right? And then the next day you like wake up and you take a shower and then like something just happens. You know what I mean? Like you spill your coffee and then you burst out into tears and you're like, what's wrong with me? And you're like, it's because the bomb's sneaking back up on you.
Yeah.
It never leaves you. You can write it off in the moment and say you're fine, but it will come back and haunt you in a couple of days, and you just have to work through it.
Yeah, gotta learn. And I
Yeah,
always say too, like I feel like just like I try to remind myself, like, you're up there. Like you're the one with the microphone. People are sitting in the audience. So like that's pretty cool. Like
yeah. It's insane. You're standing on a stage and there's human beings that have volunteered to sit down and watch you and listen to what you have to
yeah.
say. What?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy that this situation has played out this way.
I always just think like how easy it is to get a hold of a microphone, especially like open mic nights. I'm just like, this is so cool. Like no one who knows me personally will ever give me a microphone. Like I have to lock myself in this room to do my podcast. They're like, take that mic
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's that is such a good point. Every time I go on stage, I have a thought in my head that's like, why are you people here? What are you doing here? I'm an idiot. You shouldn't you shouldn't be spending your precious life listening
Was
to me and what I have to say.
yeah.
But they do, and then you actually get elicit a reaction,
Mhm.
a laugh. You're like, I against all odds.
Yeah.
It's like yeah. It makes it worth it when especially when that bomb turns into something
Yeah.
finally good after a while.
I love that. That's so
Yeah.
beautiful. Do you want to
Yes.
talk about your podcast a little bit? I thought it's called Cheaties, right?
Mhm.
That is
Yeah.
beautiful. When did you start that?
We started it casually March 2020. I don't know
Okay.
if you remember. It was a big
No.
month for the world.
Did something happen? I don't remember. I live in
Um,
Florida.
we everybody else took a little bit of sick leave.
Oh,
The
okay.
world took some PTO.
And I got a nice tan.
Yes, and you got a nice tan, and then everybody else came and visited you during
Yes.
yeah, during their PTO.
But yeah,
Their
I'd love
leave.
to hear how the podcast started because I feel like it's very similar to how I started my comedy page. So like back up too, because I'm trying to think the like lineup how this works. So Sunshine Festival was like mid-January, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So for 6 or 7 years before that, my Emily E. Bracy comedy page was called Ho Gives No Fucks. And um Instagram was like, oh no, no one's gonna see your post if that's the name. So I had to change it. But then that's when I like started following you and everything. So my whole of making this page was through starting to date after a long breakup where I got cheated on. And then I saw your podcast was named Cheaties, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be one of my new top podcasts to listen to. So tell me how
Okay.
that started.
Okay, so oh my God, I love that you found it this way. Wait, do you have a story? Do you want to come on and tell the story?
I would love to.
Oh, yes.
Let's do
Okay.
it.
Perfect. This is a match made in heaven. Okay, so started I was dating a comedian and I got cheated on. Were you dating a comedian?
No, I was dating a heroin addict.
Of course, yes.
Same thing.
So,
Same thing.
right. So soon to be comedian.
Yes.
And I got cheated on and I called my friend Lace, who's a comic who was doing a bit on stage about when she got cheated on, how she caught him. And I like essentially caught him the same way that she caught the guy that she was
Mhm,
and how she was talking about on stage. She was going through his phone and scrolling and screenshotting the evidence and sending it to herself and then deleting it so he
mhm,
didn't know she had evidence. And I literally did that. Like I remember her bit and then was going through his phone while he was taking a nap and like screenshotting, sending to
mhm.
myself and deleting the sent messages. And
And this is why
uh
women should rule the world.
right. I know it was like it is wild that I like it was a bit she was doing on stage and it
It
changed
was your
it
real
changed my
life.
life.
Yeah.
It changed my life. It was like replaying the bit in my head while I was like going through his phone and realized I was like screenshot, then go and delete the deleted messages and delete the deleted pictures, etc.
Mhm.
Um, so we were like, well, obviously everybody has a story. So we just like threw it out there. We're like, hey, if you've got a story, give us a call. And we had a hotline and it was like,
Nice.
it had just kind of blew
Kept
up.
going.
People called and told us the stories and we've been doing it for like 3 years now. And we've
That's
grown a
so
lot.
fun.
We've learned how to let people talk. I know that's hard
It's
for me.
hard, girl.
Yeah. And like how to interview and we've grown up. I mean, God, Lace and I have gone through so much in the process, and our careers have gone through so much. Our friendship has gone through so much. Our personal lives have, and it's so fun. It's so fun to like grow in this life, having somebody by your side, like a friendship like Lace, and then
Yeah.
getting to also hear other people's stories and like in their transition periods in life too. And it's cool. I love it.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I have a couple more questions for you.
Okay. Have at it.
Um, yeah. What is just like for a new comic, someone wanting to get back into comedy, myself, what is just your biggest like word of advice you could give? It's maybe something that you wish someone would have told you when you started.
Lean into you because there are going to be people that that are so thankful that you are speaking your truth because that's a truth that they've always wanted to say and they've never been able to say it. Even if
Love that.
you think that your truth and yourself isn't worthy enough. There are people that need to hear you say what you need to say.
I love that. I think
Is
asking,
that lame?
no, that's beautiful. That's one of
I
my
just second
favorite
guessed myself
questions.
doing what I just was saying to do.
Yeah.
Um,
Isn't
I
that
think I've always
funny?
had like an insecurity about like coming off like a basic girl and not,
Yeah.
very unique and etc. Blah blah blah. But then, the more I talk about my actual insecurities or
Hmm.
genuine, you know, struggles or
Hmm.
honest opinions about life, the more people come up to me or DM me after shows and they're like, I'm so glad to hear you say this and I've been feeling this way, etc. So, um,
Keeps you going.
yeah, yeah, sometimes basic is needed.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Um, all right. I have one more question for you, Catherine. Wait, actually,
Give it to
before
me.
I get to that last question, this just popped in my head and I didn't have it written down. I love the promo pictures you do for your tours with the Photoshop. They're
Yeah,
so funny.
thank you. Thank you.
Is that,
The guy that I work with, his name is Mickey Cox,
yeah,
and he's great. Usually, like I'll have an idea. Like I was like the mob wife.
yeah.
It's the new look. Let's do a mob wife one, and
I
we
really
just
thought you
drummed up
dyed your
one.
hair. Like I literally thought that was you.
I know it's. Oh, I mean, my hair is it's so greasy right now. It kind of looks like I did. I know. I When I saw it, I was like, Should I go dark? That
I
looks
was
good.
I was very
Yeah.
confused for a second. I had to go back to your page. I was like, did she get her hair
I know,
done?
I know. I think he kind of changed my eye. I'm like, this my because he changed my eye color and stuff. I'm like, I don't know if I really
Yeah,
look like that. But literally, sometimes
that's
I'm like,
so funny.
listen, I need it. I'm gonna be on Colonel Sanders' shoulders in the middle of the infield at Derby. Can you make it happen? And he's like, all right. And sometimes the funniest thing is like, I'll be like, okay, here's my crazy vision. And he'll be like, all right, I'm gonna need you to pose for that. Or I'm gonna need this, this, and
Yeah.
this. And I like will have to like
The Kim
I had that
Kardashian
idea to
one?
recreate Kim Kardashian's what?
Yes, that
Yeah,
was, I was
that
saying the
one.
Kim Kardashian one.
And I was like, I went so far as I like went on Amazon and bought a dress and bought maple syrup and etc. And to send it to him.
Yeah.
But he's fantastic. I mean,
They're so good.
any idea I have, I'll send him and he'll drum it up.
Oh my
And
God.
we make a great team as far as
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like like a little kid when you ask them like what do you want your like birthday theme to be? And they're like robot, dinosaur, penguin. And you're
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay. Let's work with this.
You're like troll apocalypse. You're like, okay.
Yeah. Oh my God. No, I just
Yeah.
had to say that because they really are. Everyone listening, you have to look at these at her page. They're so beautiful. Like they're gonna be in the comedy museum one day, girl.
I hope so. I mean, he makes me look hotter than I am usually too.
The
So
mob wife aesthetic, it was beautiful.
I know, right? I was like, I mean, should
You're like, is
I'm gonna
this my
get a
alter
wig.
ego?
Yeah, I
Yeah, just get a
know.
wig.
It makes I get the mom wife aesthetic now. I don't
Mhm.
even have a fur, but I mean
Yeah. Go
I
to a
want one
local Goodwill. You'll find one.
for sure. And
It's
there's a little bit of blood splatter on the
fine.
side,
That just
but
means it's real.
yeah,
It's used.
yeah. The STDs inside the blood, they die off after a
They do.
decade. So
Yeah, you'll be totally fine.
yeah.
All right. Well, back to my question, a little ADHD moment there. What is one thing that you stopped faking that has made your life better?
Stopped faking. Oh, going back to what I said before is
Yeah.
like, I just stopped trying to talk about stuff on stage or be somebody on stage that I thought was what other comics praised or what
Mhm.
uh the like the industry was looking for, and I just started saying my own shit whether I thought it was basic or not, and that's when um my career kind of started to take off.
When you were true
Like
to
I
yourself.
stopped like yeah, I stopped like doing material or a style that was like anybody else and just
Yeah.
started being myself.
That's great advice. If just a advice answer that is great. And I think that's so relatable. That was something that like I was kind of dealing with when I got back in it again. And I felt like I was like a character, which is hard because I do feel like I portray like with my page was like, Ho gives no fucks. I was portraying this character online. I mean, I'm like a sober wife. Like I
Yes.
started out as this alcoholic single girl back in 2015, as we all were.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just kind of had to evolve past that, but it's something so fun to me. But anyway, I was kind of like bringing it onto stage and I was like, I feel weird. And then one night I smoked a little before I did open mic and I just felt so much like myself, probably because I was high, but that's just a natural
Yeah.
state for me. But, and I loved your answer. That was so great. And
Yeah.
it's so true.
When you realize yourself and you talk about real stuff going on in your life and then it elicits reaction, it I think people connect with it more. Like no matter what you're saying, if you're being yourself and you're being true and you're being honest
Yeah.
and you're not, yeah, like being the character you think people want you to be is when like stuff
Awesome.
really connects. Also, I stopped this is really honest. I stopped pretending to enjoy cardio, and I would like to just put that out there. Running sucks,
It does.
and I've started weightlifting, and I'm like such a much better person. I'm a strong, badass biatch
I
now.
love weightlifting. It's,
Yeah, can we tell women to start weightlifting more
yeah.
and stop pretending to go on runs?
And like it's
And
not gonna get you like crazy bulky. Like even
no,
with like I was doing it, I was like doing it, counting the whole macros, doing that thing back in the day. And like I felt so strong. Like
it's so rewarding,
it
and
really
like you can
is.
go in there and listen to your pop up music
Hmm.
and I mean, and when you like learn how to do proper form, and then
Yeah.
you get a little butt pump at
Oh
the end of
yeah.
your
And then
workout.
you can like really like drop your booty and do like a squat and pop back up. When people see you do that, like not at the gym, but like somewhere else, like if you're
Mhm.
dancing, they're like, okay. And you're like, yeah, I lift weights. What's up? Want to fight?
I'm a
I'll
strong
win.
biatch.
And they're like, I
Yes.
was trying to compliment your outfit. And you're like, oh, I'm sorry. Can we be friends?
Oh, okay. But watch me pick up.
Yes.
Yeah. Watch me pick up your Birkin bag with my ass cheeks.
With my ass cheeks. They both cost the same price, honestly.
Damn straight.
All right, Catherine, where I will put everything you say right now into the description of the episode so people can follow you. But like what shows do you have coming up? Let everyone know where they can follow you on Instagram, obviously YouTube, because you are a professional YouTuber.
Mhm. I live and die for YouTube. It's where I was born on
Did you get a
YouTube.
plaque in the mail?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you
It says
did?
I know. I feel bad. I know people work really hard for it.
I
And
love it.
I know. It doesn't I know. I'm so sorry, guys. I know I got a plaque. I shouldn't have a plaque. But okay, just I worked really hard on other things and
You
the
sound like
YouTube
someone
numbers just
like getting their
kind of were a
award.
byproduct of it. Also, my YouTube isn't doing like great anymore. Okay. It was back in the day. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know this would be like
Sorry to
somebody
the
who didn't
YouTubers.
try in comedy and they have like a Netflix special now. I would be so annoyed at, and there are some.
Yeah. I
But
can't wait to see your Netflix special. Get that hour
we'll
out
see.
there.
One
It'll
day,
happen. It'll
one day.
happen. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so when this comes out, the biggest thing, I don't know if I'll be on the Tonight Show yet. That I'm taping
Uh-huh.
that and it airs March 12th on NBC. And then
Ooh.
I'm on the road. I'm in Austin, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia. I have shows, and then I'll be taping my special in Houston,
Oh.
Texas, March 29th.
When's your
And then I
Atlanta show?
was my Atlanta show March 26th and 27th at Laughing
Oh, okay.
Sport.
I'm going in
I'm
April.
running my hour right before I tape. And
Oh.
then I'm everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm all over. I'm Denver, in the Carolinas. I'm bebopping all over the
Love it.
country. So you go to katherineblanford.com for tour dates. And my Instagram is it's Katherine Blanford. Another piece of advice. Never change your handle
No.
to the beginning of it, it's. Because it's a pain in
Mm.
the ass. Because people
Mm-hmm.
go, what's your handle? And you go, it's Katherine Blanford.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I
And then
didn't think
it
about that.
doesn't. And they go, why did you stutter? You go, I
Yeah.
didn't. So that's my number one piece of advice.
That's my number one. You will die on that. That and becoming a YouTuber.
Mhm.
Okay, I will put all that in the show description, Catherine. Thank you so much for chatting with me today. I am so happy that I went and saw you in Tampa because I was just like I said, I was like, oh my God, who is she? She's so great. I need to be friends with her on Instagram right now. So everyone go
It's been
follow
an honor. Thank you so
Catherine.
much. And we have to do
Yeah,
a show together next time I'm in Tampa.
please. Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I would love to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. See you then.
Everyone, please go follow Catherine. Like I said, look at her tour dates, go find out when she's in your city and go see her, or go travel thousands of hundreds of miles to go see her because it'll be worth it. Thank you for listening, and we will talk next week.